Day 2 of a weekend full of action here at Pembrey for the Toyo Tyres MSA British Rallycross Championship weekend. Same circuit, different configuration, and this time we're running in the other direction. Yesterday it was dry, it was fast, it was spectacular. Ollie Bennett was the man that briefly led the final until Julian Godfrey found a way past him. The Pembrey master grabbing the advantage from Bennett and then Ollie O'Donovan. O'Donovan pushed as hard as he could to try to find a way up onto terms with Godfrey. Ollie Bennett briefly splitting them as they all cycled through the Joker lap. But Godfrey was ahead when it mattered. Lower down the order, Nathan Heathcote was battling with Jake Harris, but there was just no stopping Julian Godfrey. He was on target for yet another victory. He won here earlier on in the season. He took 2 wins at Mondello Park, and that made it 4. He comes here as the championship leader, 4 points up on Ollie Bennett. Ollie O'Donovan third, but he crashed in practice this morning and now can't race. Today we're running in the clockwise direction. The Joker lap is effectively the first corner, a different run through the Hatchet's hairpin. You've got that long run across the middle where you've got the loose surface.
Oliver, you're second in the championship. It's your first year in Supercar and these are conditions you haven't really raced in before. What are your expectations for Q1 this morning?
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult one, I think. I mean, just had practice, it was very slippy, it's hard to get power down anywhere, so I think we're just going to soften the car right off, just turn the power down a little bit and just keep smooth, I guess. That's one thing, I'm quite smooth, so fingers crossed.
Julian, you scored your 4th win of the season yesterday in round 7 at Pembrey, using the circuit in a different direction, but there's a whole new dynamic today, isn't it? Really wet conditions this morning. Yeah,
no, it's real wet now and really slippery. It's just on the gravel area, it gets real muddy and claggy, so it is very tricky, but try and keep it clean and get the cleaner line and try and get some good times.
And so the MSA British Rallycross Championship final is good to go. Nathan Heathcote, Warren Scott, Julian Godfrey, winners all this year, row 1. Kevin Proctor, Ollie Bennett, row 2. And then the third row, Steve Hill, Jake Harris and Andy Grant. It's wet, it's slippery, we're ready to race. The lights will go green any second now, and we are racing! Good start by Godfrey, he goes for the Joker, so does Andy Grant, getting that out of the way early on. And the other one that goes for the Joker lap there, look, is Jake Harris. So Nathan Heathcote it is who leads the way. Heathcote won at Croft at the start of the season with a Kenneth Hansen-built Citroen C4. Now in the Duran Run Citroen DS3. The man that last year won the Suzuki Swift Championship leads Warren Scott, his teammate behind him. Scott a little bit more sideways as they hit the loose for the first time. Kevin Proctor is third. Now Proctor, old hand in a supercar. Is that experience going to come into play finally now? He's closing on Scott, who is closing on Heathcote. 3 for the race lead as they hit the tarmac any moment now for the first time, and Scott's in all sorts of grief. There he gets crossed up, he's all over the grass. Proctor goes second and Warren Scott aims for the tarmac, but he's lost ground. End of lap 1, Nathan Heathcote leads, Kevin Proctor second, Warren Scott third, and then it's Julian Godfrey fourth, and he's left himself with some work to do here as they come over the line again. Warren Scott goes for the Joker lap this time around, Kevin Proctor hustling on behind Nathan Heathcote. There is Julian Godfrey then, multiple British champion. Julian Godfrey, the ex-motocrosser, he's going for the loose ahead of Warren Scott now, so Warren Scott losing a couple of spots by dint of doing the Joker lap. How many of those will he claim back before the end? We'll have to wait and see. Julian Godfrey in the ex-Sverre Isaacson Fiesta, right on the back of Kevin Proctor, whose car was a WRC rally car before it became a Rallycross mount, and Proctor is sideways, skimming the tyres there. Very crossed up as he tries to keep Godfrey behind him. There's the race leader though. Nathan Heathcote is absolutely flying. He could be on for a second victory of the season here, and he's first in that car as well, changing cars mid-season. Proctor hesitates and Godfrey goes through on the inside. Has Kevin Proctor got a problem? I fear he has, because now Warren Scott goes through as well, and yet again something has gone wrong for Kevin Proctor. He's having a horrible season. On board with Steve Hill now, down towards the hairpin. He's virtually caught Kevin Proctor as well. They both go for the Joker lap this time, but look at the Mitsubishi. Charges out of the hairpin and just easily drives past Proctor. Something mechanical has gone wrong, and another disappointing day out for Kevin Proctor. Seldom has he had a season like this. Last year he had good days and a few bad ones, but this year it has just been a nightmare for him. So Nathan Heathcote leads at a sideways. Warren Scott losing ground to Julian Godfrey. He was almost up with him a corner ago, and only now has he managed to get himself back onto the line, and he can blast away again. Look at the difference when you get the traction back, how much quicker the car goes. There's one clean line, and that's what you've got to try and stay on if you can. Nathan Heathcote then, looking for win number 2 of the season. This will bring him into the mix for the championship, as well as Andy Grant fends off Jake Harris here. Kevin Proctor is persevering, trying to salvage some points out of this, but he's going to get gobbled up by Grant pretty soon. Towards the timing line comes the troubled Proctor, Fiesta, and Andy Grant can almost afford to give him a wave as he goes by. Now he's got so much more pace, and so too has Jake Harris. He has a look up the inside, and Proctor chops across the front, and there's contact between the two. That was all a bit unnecessary because Jake Harris was going to be able to drive past him anyway on the next section of the circuit, but Proctor turns in, clouts the front corner of Harris's car, and now Jake Harris is off and in the tyres. Wow, what's happened now? Another drama between the two of them, and Julian Godfrey is closing on Nathan Heathcote for the race lead. Look at this. Last lap board is ready, and Julian Godfrey, winner yesterday, is right on the tail of Nathan Heathcote as they start the last lap of the race. They've both got the Joker lap out of the way. There's a yellow flag zone up the road because of Jake Harris going off into the tyre barrier. They circumnavigate that, and in fact now Nathan Heathcote does look as though he's getting away a little bit more. As they come through together, Heathcote has the race ready to lose, really. I can't think that Julian Godfrey's going to be able to find a way past him unless Nathan makes a mistake. Heathcote does look impressive in a supercar, but Julian Godfrey has got so much experience. What has he got up his sleeve with only really a couple of corners to go to do anything about Heathcote? Not much, because Nathan gets the power down, and Godfrey's the one that slides out wide this time. Understeer, oversteer, he's off the road, he's back on again. But Nathan Heathcote is going to score a second victory of the season. Here at Pembrey in the wet, Nathan Heathcote will win the final. Who is going to be second as the checkered flag is waved? Does Julian Godfrey hang on to it? He does. And Warren Scott will come through for third in an all-action race. Nathan Heathcote, Julian Godfrey, Warren Scott the top 3 ahead of Ollie Bennett and Steve Hill, with Andy Grant 6th and a troubled Kevin Proctor 7th.
Nathan, they've been really tough conditions for everyone today. You scored your first win of the year at Croft on your debut, and you've scored another one today. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels amazing, to be fair. In the final, I made a big mistake and thought I'd thrown it all away. But yeah, no, to come away with the win is like so happy with it.
Julian, a fantastic battle in the final. You were very close to beating Nathan. You lost a bit of time on the last lap.
That's right, yeah. He made a mistake on the lap before, and I should have went up beside him, but I backed out of it because I see him coming back across the track. So I backed out to keep any damage, and second place is better than an 8th place.
Some fantastic lap times in Q3. Started on the front where they're good for the final, but couldn't quite push for the win here.
No, I would have liked to have done. I'd have liked to have got between Nathan and Julian just to bring that championship a bit closer. I've enjoyed driving the wet. I was quite surprised. It's been a great day. The car's sort of in one piece, so we'll go home and get ready for Croft.
So how does the championship look with 1 round to go? 10 points separate Julian Godfrey now from Nathan Heathcote, who's ahead of Ollie Bennett. Ollie O'Donovan not racing today, 4th ahead of Kevin Proctor, and it's Warren Scott in 6th. We could well have a champion crowned in the next few minutes. The MSA Junior Rallycross Championship final is on the grid. Tom Llewellyn, Morgan Root, Ola Henry Steinsholt, row 1. Tom Constantine, Sebastian Hoydal, row 2. Tom Middleton and James Constantine, row 3. And as the lights go green, Tom Llewellyn, champion-elect, blasts away from the line. He's only been beaten once this year by the man directly alongside him, who goes for the Joker lap now, Ola Henry Steinsholt. The silver car of Tom Llewellyn then leads the way. Let's see whether he comes out as a champion by the end of this race. It's Morgan Root doing the chasing for the moment as the cars wriggle their way towards the loose for the first time. Morgan Root, former kart racer, and then in 3rd place you've got Tom Constantine, who came into Junior Rallycross back in 2015. And at 6'5", he's one of the tallest, if not the tallest, drivers on the grid. Tom Llewellyn then, who has done some rallying as well as rallycross, came into the championship midway through last year. 4 events he did, and he won all 4 of them, and that amazing form has been carried over. It was the first Mondello round where he was beaten, but other than that, he's cleaned up this year. Llewellyn leads the way then, Root 2nd, Constantine 3rd. Across the loose to tarmac they come, and it's Tom Llewellyn with the advantage as they come up towards the line. Another win will secure the crown, even with another round at Croft still to go in October. Morgan Root, though, he's not letting it get away, is he? Root in the black and orange car looks for the inside, gets a face full of Llewellyn. Constantine now goes for the Joker lap. Tom Llewellyn blasts his way up through Spitfires. In a moment, he will turn his way onto the loose section of the circuit. Brakes hard, turns sharp right. And there behind is Morgan Root, whose pace has got better and better and better as the season has gone on. He's far more of a threat now to the front runners than ever he was. The infield very rutted, very slippery, and the drivers having to be careful that they don't go off that pretty much single line, because if you go off the line to where all the mud gets shifted, then that's going to suck you in. And that's exactly what happens to Root. Look, suddenly he bogs down, loses momentum, gets back onto the line, but look at the gap now that has widened between the top two. It is Ole Henry Steinsholt up into second place. Morgan Root still in trouble as he tries to recover. He's in danger of losing another place now. There, look, diving up on the inside line goes Sebastian Hoydalen. The Scandinavian cross-kart star goes through and gains a place after all of Morgan Root's early efforts. Now, seemingly, it has come to naught. Tom Constantine is right there behind him as well, as Root now goes for the Joker. Tom Llewellyn, in the meantime, comes from good motorsport stock. Don't forget his father, David Llewellyn, former British rally champion. Somebody who spent time in Metro 6R4s and Audi Quattros. Late in his career, he was the Toyota Team GB star of British rallying. And now Tom Llewellyn is the man upholding family honour. Whether he carries on in Rallycross or goes rallying, we will see, as going wide and losing 2 spots there is Sebastian Hoydalen. He was the one this time that understeers out wide into all the boggy earth. And now look here, Tom Constantine gets up alongside 161 to try to go for another place as they wriggle their way back towards the tarmac. Is he going to be able to go through and put the place there on Tom Middleton? I think he is. Tom Middleton drops back a spot then. So a real shuffle on the infield. And the one that's come out best out of all of that is Tom Constantine, no question about it. Tom Middleton drops back. The recovering Hoydalen is behind him as they go down towards the hairpin now. Hoydalen turns his way through the corner with Morgan Root right there behind him. But Root, remember, who was a real threat for the race lead early on, has left himself with so much work to do here, and he's struggling to get through the pack. Constantine goes wide. Middleton looks for a way almost alongside him, and that's Constantine getting it all wrong under braking. It goes one way, it goes the other. So Middleton is through, Hoydalen is through, and Root gets elbowed out wide onto the loose earth there. That delays him with lots of understeer now. Tom Constantine goes even wider, so Root gains 1 place back. But Tom Constantine in a whole heap of strife for corner after corner. Tom Llewellyn leading the way. Ole Henry Steinsholt second. Can the Mondello winner do anything at all about Llewellyn here? They start the last lap, and it looks as though Tom is going to navigate his way to a second win of the weekend and to win the championship on home soil. The Welshman is going to win in South Wales, and that is going to be ideal, except that Steinsholt goes through. As Llewellyn jokers, Ole Henry Steinsholt takes over the race lead, and suddenly we've got a real battle on. Llewellyn tries to get the inside line as they head towards the loose. He's got the advantage, has he? Yes, he retakes the lead. Wow, close stuff. Tom Llewellyn goes through and finally asserts himself and goes back ahead. But out of nowhere, really, Ole Henry Steinsholt was able to come through oh so briefly and claim the advantage then on that Joker lap. Panic over, perhaps, for Tom Llewellyn, but Steinsholt is not dropping away. There's Morgan Root pushing on as well, having been part of that leading battle early in the race. So Tom Llewellyn is the race leader, he is the championship leader, and now, as he comes out of Honda Curve, the 2017 MSA Junior Rallycross champion is Tom Llewellyn. He wins yet again on track, and he wins the title to go with it. Tom Llewellyn is the winner of the race. Ole Henry Steinsholt second from Sebastian Hoydalen, and then Tom Middleton, Tom Constantine, Morgan Root down in 6th ahead of James Constantine. Stand up, Tom Llewellyn, the new champion with Ole Henry Steinsholt, only 6 points clear of Tom Constantine in the battle for runners-up.
Tom Llewellyn, you've won in Junior Rallycross quite often now. It's your first year in the sport, and with a round to go, you're crowned the champion. How does that feel?
Oh no, it feels awesome to be champion already with another round to go, and we'll have to work on what we can do for next year.
The Supernational final ready to go here at Pembrey, with Tristan Ovenden on pole position, Tony Lynch and Paige Bellaby on row 1 alongside him. Alan Tapscott and Michael Labbage are on row 2 ahead of Slavomir Volok, Guy Corner and Kurt Twyman as we get ready to go racing. It is blast off, and a good start made by Paige Bellaby from the outside of the front row, but not as good as Tristan Ovenden, who grabs the advantage on the way down towards Hatchett's hairpin. Labbage and Twyman are those that go for the Joker lap straight away and get that done as Tristan Ovenden leads, Paige Bellaby second and Tony Lynch in third place. Will these wet conditions hamper the Grunt and Go Clio and give the smaller engine cars the chance to perhaps fight back here? Let's see. Across the loose they come then. Tristan Ovenden leading a sideways. Bellaby, is she going to hang on to it? Yes, but badly delayed in all of that. The former junior champion falls back behind Tony Lynch and just fends off Alan Tapscott, who had a spin in his semi-final. But all of that squabbling and all of those dramas allow the race leader Tristan Ovenden to get away. The double Suzuki Swift champion then leads the pack at the moment. There is Lynch second, Bellaby third, and Tapscott makes an attack at Honda Curve and tries to get up on the inside. Is he going to go through? Yes, he is. On the inside line, he goes through and picks up the place. Alan Tapscott third, and so Paige Bellaby dropping away in the race and, of course, losing points in the championship here. Tapscott has a look up the inside of Lynch as they break for the hairpin. Bellaby serves the Joker lap, gets that out of the way. Ovenden then leads the pack, the rear wheel drive, 3-litre V6 Clio up front. Tony Lynch versus Alan Tapscott, battle is on, isn't it, for second place now. And the hugely experienced Tapscott up behind the hugely experienced Lynch as well. Across the loose they come. And Tony Lynch, who's been a rally driver, a rally co-driver, 3 times the Northwest Rally champion, now having to go into real defensive mode to keep Tapscott behind him. There is Bellaby, keeping at bay Slavomir Volok for the moment. Paige Bellaby comes across the loose section of the circuit. Now let's see what further progress can be made here. It was on this section where she got all sideways on the opening lap. Sideways again, and you can see just how wet and muddy and slippery it is. This time it's Michael Labbage in trouble, going way, way wide, and that almost looks like he's pulling off rather than having a mistake. Let's just see whether the car keeps going. Last lap for the leader, Tristan Ovenden it is then up front, and this, if he can hang on to it, will be 4 wins on the bounce, more than anybody else this year. Second and third, Lynch versus Tapscott. Guy Corner fourth, but a phony fourth because he now serves the Joker, and that is going to drop him down the order here. The battle is on for second place, and Tapscott almost alongside Lynch now. That was on the outside line as they head towards the loose section. So Tony Lynch is just able to maintain the place for the moment. There behind is Tapscott, turning their way through this right-handed section. And then you sort of slalom your way back towards the tarmac. Nose to tail, they run. But Tristan Ovenden is going to win. He's going to increase his advantage in the championship as well, because he comes now into the last corner. Checkered flag at the ready, and Tristan Ovenden will win for the 4th time this year in Supernational. Who is going to be second? It is Tony Lynch ahead, but only just as he comes up towards the line. Alan Tapscott is behind him, and Lynch is just ahead, and Bellaby spins in the background. Look, Paige Bellaby off at the last corner. Drama all the way to the flag. Tristan Ovenden wins from Tony Lynch and Alan Tapscott, but down in 7th after the spin, Paige Bellaby. 1 more round to go. Tristan Ovenden is the championship leader now, ahead of Paige Bellaby. Tony Lynch 3rd from Guy Corner, Alan Tapscott's 5th. There's 1 more round to go. That's at Croft. We'll see you in October.